You black people think you can just buy your way into our world? This country club is for real Americans, not thugs like you. Officer Dale Brennan swings a $1,000 golf club at Benjamin Harris's head, a black man on his knees, hands raised, begging for mercy on scorching asphalt. The chrome shaft stops inches from his skull. Wham! Brennan's boot crushes into Ben's spine. Where'd you steal this car, boy? Which white family did you rob? Around them, a platinum country club, $50,000 memberships, 40 wealthy white golfers recording behind the fence, silent, watching, doing nothing. This is America, where a black man in a $200,000 car can only mean one thing: criminal. But what this white cop doesn't know? He just assaulted a federal agent. On camera, 1,400 people watching live. In 11 minutes, 12 federal agents will surround him. And this racist cop will go dead silent. 43 cities, 1,200 corrupt cops exposed, $2.3 billion stolen from black Americans. Watch what happens when the system finally fights back. Ben tastes copper. Blood from his bitten tongue mixes with asphalt grit. The parking lot blacktop burns at 97 degrees, hot enough to sear through denim, through skin, through dignity. His wedding ring catches afternoon sunlight. Angela is waiting at Marcello's downtown. Anniversary dinner. Table reserved for 6 p.m. Their favorite tiramisu already ordered. He's going to be late, if he makes it at all. I said, answer me! Brennan yanks Ben's arms behind his back. Handcuffs snap shut, too tight, deliberately crushing. Ben's hands turn purple instantly. Circulation cuts off. The metal digs into wrists, cuts through skin. Officer, please! Ben's voice stays calm, steady. The way Marine Corps drill instructors taught him in boot camp. Control your fear, or your fear controls you. I'm a platinum member here. My name is Benjamin Harris, member number P8634. If you just check with the club, platinum? Brennan laughs, cold, cruel, echoing across the lot. You hear this, Rodriguez? This black boy thinks he's platinum. A second patrol car sits 10 feet away. Officer James Rodriguez, Latino, late 20s, body camera blinking red, stands frozen. His face shows conflict. His training says intervene. His survival instinct says stay silent. He chooses silence. The camera keeps recording. His mouth stays shut. People like you don't get platinum memberships. Brennan hisses into Ben's ear, loud enough for the phones to catch, quiet enough to sound intimate. You steal them. You forge them. You lie your way into places you don't belong. And then you get surprised when real Americans like me put you back in your place. The crowd behind the chain-link fence has swelled to 60 people now, all white, all wealthy, all clutching their phones like shields. One woman, tennis whites, blonde highlights, Hermes bag, whispers to her friend, "Oh my God, this is terrible. Someone should do something." But she doesn't do something. She just keeps recording. Because doing something means crossing the line, means choosing a side, means risking the comfort of her own privilege to defend a black man she doesn't know. And that's a price too high. 10 minutes ago, this was supposed to be a normal Saturday. Ben pulled his vintage Aston Martin DB9 into the Pinehurst Country Club lot. Same spot, same time, same routine he'd followed for 3 years. His golf clubs rattled in the trunk. His membership card sat in his wallet. His tee time was locked in, 3 o'clock p.m., 18th hole. The valet approached, a white kid, 19 at most, with acne scars and nervous energy. His name tag read, Tyler. Tyler looked at the car. British Racing Green, chrome details, 6-figure price tag. Then he looked at Ben. Navy hoodie, dark skin, athletic build. The math didn't compute in Tyler's brain. Black man plus expensive car equals does not belong. Sir? Tyler's voice cracked. Do you have a membership card? Ben had been asked this question before, at restaurants, at hotels, at banks where he held seven-figure accounts. The question beneath the question was always the same. Are you sure you're allowed to be here? I'm a member, Ben said calmly. Pulled out his wallet, showed the platinum card with his name embossed in gold letters. Tyler stared at it, then pulled out his phone, not to verify the membership, to call someone else. Ben watched the kid's thumb hover over contacts, watched him scroll past manager and security, watched him land on Pinehurst PD, non-emergency. And Ben knew. In that moment, he knew exactly what was about to happen. Because this was the plan. This was always the plan. Operation Sundown. 18 months of preparation. 43 cities. One trap designed to expose systematic corruption and racism baked into American law enforcement. And Benjamin Harris, Treasury Department Deputy Director, Purple Heart recipient, husband to Angela, father to 8-year-old Emma, volunteered to be the bait. So he stood there, waiting, watching Tyler make the call that would change everything. Yeah, hi. This is Tyler at Pinehurst Country Club. There's a, suspicious individual in the parking lot. Black male, 30s, driving an expensive car, acting weird. Could you send someone? Acting weird. Translation, existing while black. 3 patrol cars arrived within 6 minutes, lights flashing, sirens wailing. Like Ben was an active shooter instead of a man with a tea time. And now here he is, face down, handcuffed, bleeding, humiliated in front of 60 white faces who see him as entertainment, not human. Dispatch, this is Unit 12. Brennan speaks into his radio, loud, official, deadly serious. Black male suspect secured. Stolen vehicle confirmed. Suspect was hostile, refused identification, attempted to flee. I was forced to use necessary physical force to prevent escalation and ensure public safety. Every word is a lie. Every word will become official record. Every word will be believed because it comes from a white cop's mouth. Ben's internal calculator runs the odds. Speak up, and every word becomes aggressive. Stay silent, and silence becomes guilt. Fight back, and it's resisting arrest. Code words that come right before officer-involved shooting. He learned this equation at age 16 when cops stopped him for walking suspiciously in his own neighborhood. Learned it again at 22 when he got pulled over for matching a description. Learned it a third time at 30 when a security guard followed him through Nordstrom because a black man in the luxury section looked wrong. The equation never balances. There is no right answer. There is only survival. His phone buzzes in his pocket. Now in Brennan's pocket, now stolen property. The screen flashes through the fabric. Secure channel. Director Mitchell. Urgent. Brennan hears it. Pulls the phone out. Sees the U.S. Treasury Department seal on the lock screen. For exactly 2 seconds, his face changes. Uncertainty flickers behind his eyes. Then rage floods back in. He powers the phone off, slides it into his pocket. Evidence, he mutters. The club manager, Karen Westfield, white, 50-something, designer golf outfit, comes running from the clubhouse in cleats that click like castanets on pavement. Officer! Officer, please! There's been a terrible mistake! She's breathless, panicked, waving her iPad. Mr. Harris is a member. Platinum level. 3 years. His account is current. $50,000 paid in full. I can show you right now. Brennan doesn't even glance at her. Ma'am, this individual was trespassing on private property. He's not trespassing. He pays to be here. Look. She shoves the iPad toward him. The screen shows Ben's member profile, his photo, his payment history. Everything official. Brennan glances at it for half a second, then back at her. His voice drops to something dangerous. "Ma'am, are you interfering with a police investigation? Because that's a crime. That's obstruction. Do you want to be arrested alongside your member?" Karen's face drains of color. The iPad lowers. She takes 3 steps back. The message is crystal clear. Stay in line or become the enemy. In the crowd, an older man pushes to the front. White, mid-60s, wearing a faded Vietnam veteran baseball cap. His name is Thomas Bennett, and his face is red with fury. "I know Ben Harris," Thomas shouts, gripping the chain-link fence. "He's a good man, a veteran. This is wrong." Brennan's head snaps toward him. "Sir, I'm going to ask you once to step back and be quiet." "I won't be quiet. You're abusing your power." "That man served 2 tours in Iraq while you were probably sitting behind a desk eating donuts." "Sir." Brennan takes a step toward the fence. His hand drops to his holster. Not drawing, just resting there, a visual threat. "Unless you want to be in handcuffs too, I suggest you shut your mouth right now." Thomas's jaw clenches. His hands shake on the fence, but he doesn't step back. "Someone's recording this. The world is watching, and you're going to regret this." Brennan smirks. "I've been on this force 16 years, old man. 3 complaints, 0 consequences. The system protects me, not him." He's right. The system does protect him. It always has. Except this time, Benjamin Harris is the system. And the trap is about to snap shut. Ben's vision blurs from pain. His wrists are numb. His ribs scream where Brennan kicked them. Blood drips from his split lip onto asphalt already stained with motor oil and broken dreams. But he counts. 1 breath, 2 breaths, 3. In Fallujah, he survived 6 hours pinned in a farmhouse while insurgents fired RPGs through the windows. He survived by controlling what he could control. Right now, he can control his breathing, his reactions, his fear. Everything else? Everything else is theater. Performance. Necessary suffering to expose a cancer that's been eating America alive. A tow truck rounds the corner. Big yellow rig with impound stenciled on the side. Coming for his car, for Angela's anniversary gift, for the symbol of everything they'd built together. The Facebook live stream hits 2,100 viewers. Comments flood in. "This is disgusting. Call his supervisor. Someone help him. This is why we kneel. Where are the good cops?" Good question. Where are they? Rodriguez stands silent, body camera recording, mouth shut. 2 more patrol cars arrive, Officers Kowalski and Jensen, and they fall in line without question. The blue wall holds strong. Ben's phone, still in Brennan's pocket, buzzes 1 more time, then goes silent. Because 11 minutes have passed, and somewhere beyond the 18th hole, beyond the manicured greens where wealthy white men play games while the world burns, 3 black Chevy Suburbans are tearing across the golf course at 70 miles per hour. No lights, no sirens, just dark windows, government plates, and 12 federal agents armed with body armor, warrants, and 18 months of evidence. Brennan grabs Ben by the collar, starts dragging him toward the patrol car. "Let's go. Station's waiting. You can tell your lies to the judge." Then someone hears it. A low rumble, growing louder. Not thunder, not construction. Engines. Multiple engines. Close and getting closer. Brennan freezes, his hand still gripping Ben's collar. The crowd turns toward the sound, and over the hill, tearing through the 18th green like the hand of God, 3 massive SUVs crest the ridge in perfect formation. They stop in a triangle, blocking every exit. 12 doors open in unison. 12 agents in tactical gear step out. U.S. Treasury, Special Investigations, emblazoned across their chests in reflective yellow letters. The lead agent, Commander Rachel Turner, silver-streaked hair, eyes like a hawk, walks straight toward Ben. Doesn't ask permission. Doesn't acknowledge Brennan. just pulls out a key and unlocks the handcuffs herself. Ben's hands drop. Blood rushes back. The pain is excruciating and glorious. Rachel's voice is dry as desert sand. "Sorry we're late, sir. Traffic." Brennan's face drains of all color. His mouth opens, closes. No sound comes out. Ben stands slowly, rubs his wrists, looks Brennan dead in the eyes. His voice is quiet, calm, absolutely devastating. Now we do this properly. The tow truck arrives 16 minutes later. Big yellow rig with Pinehurst Auto Impound stenciled on the door. The driver, a man with a gray beard and oil-stained overalls, looks at the Aston Martin, then at Ben on the ground, then back at Brennan. "That's the stolen vehicle?" "That's the one. Impound it. Full evidentiary hold." Ben watches his car get hooked up. Angela saved for 2 years to surprise him with that car. Found it at an estate sale in Virginia. Had it restored as an anniversary gift. Now it's being dragged away on a chain like evidence from a crime scene. The Facebook live stream hits 300 viewers. Comments flood the screen. "This is disgusting. Call a lawyer." "Where is this happening?" Someone tags the ACLU. Someone else tags the local NAACP chapter. Rodriguez shifts his weight and touches his body camera to make sure the red light is still on. It is. He's been recording everything since he arrived. His face says he knows this is wrong. His body language says he won't do anything about it. Brennan hauls Ben to his feet. The movement sends pain screaming up from Ben's wrists. The cuffs have cut off circulation. His hands are purple. "Let's see what else you're hiding." Brennan starts patting Ben down. Aggressive, invasive. Fingers dig into pockets, probe along the waistband, check the inside of Ben's shoes. The crowd shifts uncomfortably. This part always makes white people nervous. When they see the reality of it up close, not filtered through a news segment they can change channels on. Brennan finds nothing. No weapons, no drugs, no outstanding warrants. Nothing to justify any of this. So he improvises. "Dispatch, suspect was loitering in the parking lot, acting suspicious, refused to identify himself, became aggressive when approached." Every word a lie. Every word spoken into a radio that will make it official record. "I had to physically restrain him to prevent escalation." Ben's jaw tightens. He looks directly at Rodriguez's body camera, speaks clearly. "That's not what happened. That's not what—" "I arrived for my tea time. I didn't refuse anything. I complied with every instruction." "Stop resisting." Brennan shoves him toward the patrol car. Ben isn't resisting. He's standing still. But Brennan shoves him again anyway, and when Ben stumbles, Brennan grabs his shoulder and slams him against the hood. The crowd gasps. Karen Westfield pulls out her tablet, pulls up the membership roster, turns the screen toward Brennan. "Look, Benjamin Harris, platinum member since 2022. $50,000 in annual dues, current, paid in full, right here." Brennan glances at the screen, shrugs. "Doesn't matter. He was trespassing before you verified his identity. That's still a crime." Rodriguez finally speaks up. "Dale, he was in his own car in a parking lot where he's a member. What's the trespassing charge?" "Disorderly conduct, then. Public disturbance. I'll figure it out at the station." "Figure it out?" Rodriguez's voice cracks. "You're just making this up as you go?" "You got a problem, Rodriguez? Want to file a complaint? I've been on this force 16 years. You've been here 16 months. Think real hard about whose side you want to be on." Rodriguez goes quiet. The body camera keeps recording, but his mouth stays shut. Ben's phone, still in Brennan's pocket, buzzes repeatedly. 11 missed calls now. Director Mitchell doesn't give up easily, but Brennan doesn't seem to care. In his mind, he's already writing the report. Stolen vehicle. Suspicious behavior. Suspect resisted. Officer used appropriate force to secure the scene. It's a story he's told before. 3 excessive force complaints in his file. All dismissed. all investigated by his own department. All concluded with, "Officer acted within policy guidelines." 2 more patrol cars arrive. Officers Kyle Kowalski and Ryan Jensen step out. They're younger than Brennan, but older than Rodriguez. They have the look of men who've learned to follow orders and not ask questions. Brennan briefs them. Stolen vehicle, fake ID, possible assault on staff. He nods toward the valet, who's standing near the clubhouse entrance looking like he wants to disappear. Kid called it in, said the suspect was aggressive. The valet's eyes go wide. He starts to shake his head, but Brennan gives him a look. The kid swallows whatever truth he was about to tell. Jensen runs a warrant check on his laptop. Takes 3 minutes. Comes back with something. Got a hit. Unpaid parking ticket. Arlington, Virginia. 15 years old. Brennan's face lights up like Christmas morning. There it is. Outstanding warrant. Career criminal. Ben closes his eyes. He knows what happened. There's another Benjamin Harris in Arlington. Happens all the time. Common name. Lazy data entry. The system doesn't care if it's the right person as long as someone pays. That's not me, Ben says. Check the date of birth. Check the middle name. We'll sort it at the station. Brennan opens the patrol car door. Get in. The crowd has swelled to maybe 40 people now. The Facebook live stream is over 1,200 viewers. Someone sent the link to a local news station. A TV van is pulling into the far end of the parking lot. Thomas Bennett, the veteran with the cap, is on his phone now, talking fast. Yes, Pinehurst Country Club. No, he didn't do anything. Just send someone, please. A woman in nurse scrubs pushes through the crowd. She's black, maybe 45, with exhausted eyes and a voice that cuts through the noise. Let me see his wrists. Brennan blocks her. Ma'am, step back. I'm a registered nurse. Those cuffs are too tight. He's losing circulation. You're causing medical harm. He's fine. He's not fine. Look at his hands. Brennan looks at Ben's purple, swollen hands, shrugs. That's what happens when you resist. The nurse pulls out her own phone, starts filming. For the record, this man is not resisting. He's compliant, and you're torturing him. That's it. Jensen, cite her for obstruction. Jensen hesitates. Dale, she's just... Did I stutter? Jensen doesn't move. Kowalski doesn't move. Even Rodriguez looks sick. The TV news van parks. A reporter, Maria Cooper, with perfect hair and a microphone that costs more than most people's rent, steps out with a cameraman. She's 50 yards away, but closing fast. Brennan sees her coming. He changes tactics, puts on his community protector face, positions himself between the camera and Ben so the angle looks heroic. Concerned officer doing a tough job. We received a report of a stolen vehicle and a potentially dangerous individual, he says into Maria's microphone. I responded, assessed the situation, and took appropriate action to secure the scene and protect public safety. Maria's not buying it. She's been a reporter for 20 years. She knows performance when she sees it. Is the suspect injured? No injuries, minor physical contact to ensure compliance. Can we speak with him? Not at this time. Active investigation. Ben watches this theater from beside the patrol car. His wrists scream. His ribs ache where Brennan kicked them. His jaw is tight from biting back words that won't help. He looks at Rodriguez's body camera one more time, speaks clearly, calmly, the way his Marine Corps instructor taught him to deliver after-action reports. My name is Benjamin Harris, Treasury Identification Number THX8634. I invoke federal jurisdiction under Title 18, Section 114, the legal code for crimes against federal officers. Rodriguez's eyes go wide. Kowalski and Jensen exchange glances. Maria Cooper's reporter instincts start screaming. She moves closer with the camera. Brennan freezes for 2 full seconds. Then rage floods his face. He grabs Ben by the back of the neck and slams him against the patrol car. Federal jurisdiction? You think you're special? You think some fake badge makes you untouchable? Dale, Rodriguez starts. Get him in the car, now. They start to push Ben toward the open door, his head inches from the frame. One shove too hard and it's a concussion, maybe worse. It's happened before, in other cities, to other men who looked like him. The crowd holds its breath. Then someone hears it, a low rumble in the distance. Not thunder, not construction. Engines. 3 black Chevy Suburbans crest the hill at the country club entrance. No lights, no sirens, just dark windows and government plates and the inevitability of a storm rolling in. They drive straight across the golf course, tear up the manicured 18th green, stop in a triangle formation that blocks every exit from the parking lot. Brennan's hand is still on Ben's neck, but the pressure releases. Just a fraction. What the hell? 12 doors open in unison. 12 agents in tactical gear step out. Body armor. Weapons holstered but visible. U.S. Treasury, Special Investigations, stenciled across their chests in reflective letters. The lead agent, Commander Rachel Turner, 40 years old with silver streaking her dark hair and eyes like a falcon, walks straight to Ben. Doesn't acknowledge Brennan. Doesn't ask permission. Just unlocks the handcuffs herself. Ben's hands drop. Blood rushes back. The pain is excruciating and wonderful. Sorry we're late, sir. Rachel's voice is dry. Traffic. Ben rubs his wrists, looks at Brennan. The officer's face has drained of all color. His mouth opens, closes. No sound comes out. Ben's voice is quiet, calm, devastating. Now we do this properly. 6 months earlier. Benjamin Harris stands at the front of a conference room in the U.S. Treasury building. The room smells like coffee and old carpets. 16 people sit around a mahogany table. All of them have security clearances that could unlock nuclear codes. All of them are watching him. Director Sarah Mitchell, 52, black, with silver hair and a reputation for ending careers, taps a file folder on the table. Walk us through it again. Ben advances the PowerPoint slide. A map of the United States appears, dotted with red markers. 43 cities. Small towns, mostly. Places where the police department is the biggest employer and the biggest power. Operation Sundown, Ben says. We've identified systemic corruption in 43 municipal police departments. Pattern is consistent. Officers use minor traffic stops as pretense for civil asset forfeiture. They seize cash, vehicles, sometimes homes. No charges filed, no due process. Victims are overwhelmingly black and Latino. Someone at the table, a deputy director from Justice, leans forward. How much are we talking? $2.3 billion over the past 8 years. Ben lets that number sit. Most victims can't afford lawyers. They take the loss and move on. The departments keep the money, use it for equipment, overtime, bonuses. And Pinehurst? Director Mitchell asks. Ben clicks to the next slide. A photo of Officer Dale Brennan in dress uniform appears. Awards. Commendations. A smile that doesn't reach his eyes. Pinehurst PD is a flagship case. Officer Brennan alone has been involved in over 600 asset forfeitures in the past 5 years. Total value, approximately $2.1 million. 89% of those forfeitures involved people of color. Only 12% of cases resulted in criminal charges. The rest? Money just disappeared into department coffers. And we can prove he's personally benefiting? Mitchell asks. Bank records show deposits into his personal account that correlate with forfeiture dates. Usually 48 hours after seizure. Amounts range from $2,000 to $35,000. He's not even being subtle about it. The room goes quiet. These are people who've seen financial crimes that make Hollywood heists look like pocket change. But there's something about a cop with a badge and a gun stealing from citizens one traffic stop at a time that hits different. We need someone on the inside, Mitchell says. Someone who can trigger the behavior pattern while we document everything. Ben doesn't hesitate. I'll do it. Ben, you understand what that means? You'll be exposed, vulnerable. If something goes wrong, I grew up in towns like Pinehurst. Ben's voice is steady. I know how they see us. I know what they do when they think no one's watching. If we're going to break this system, someone has to be willing to stand in the fire. Mitchell studies him for a long moment, then nods. 43 cities. This is just the beginning. But if it goes sideways, if there's a situation where you're in danger, you'll have to hold position until backup can confirm and deploy. We can't blow operational security on a maybe. I understand. How long can you hold if it goes bad? Ben thinks about his Marine Corps training, about the farmhouse in Fallujah, about the 8-year-old daughter who asked him why a police officer yelled at him in a grocery store for reaching for his wallet too fast. 15 minutes, he says. I can take 15 minutes of hell if it means fixing the system. Mitchell extends her hand. Then let's go break some bad cops. Present day, Pinehurst Country Club parking lot. It's been 22 minutes since Brennan first put hands on him. 22 minutes of counting breaths, of controlling what he can control, of trusting that the plan will work even when every instinct screams to fight back. Ben's wrists throb where the cuffs cut in. His ribs ache. His knees are scraped raw from asphalt. There's blood in his mouth from biting his tongue, but he didn't break. He didn't give Brennan the excuse to escalate. Didn't give him the aggressive suspect narrative that would justify a bullet. Rachel Turner stands beside him now. The 12 federal agents form a perimeter. Brennan looks like a man watching his entire world collapse in real time. Ben's mind flashes back to Angela, to their daughter Emma, who's 8 years old and asks questions he doesn't always know how to answer. Questions like, why did that lady follow us in the store? And why did the police officer look at you like that? He's been answering those questions with optimism, with hope, with the belief that the system can be better. But hope without action is just wishful thinking. In Fallujah, enemies wore uniforms. You knew who to shoot. Here, the enemy wears a badge, carries the authority of law, and when things go wrong, the system protects its own. Ben thinks about all the men who didn't make it home from encounters like this. Philando Castile, reaching for his license. Sandra Bland, asserting her rights. Daniel Prude, having a mental health crisis. Breonna Taylor, sleeping in her own bed. The weight of it presses down, not just on his shoulders, on everyone who looks like him. The constant calculation, the hyper-awareness, the knowledge that one wrong move could be the last move. His daughter asked him once, "Daddy, why do you always tell me to keep my hands where people can see them?" He'd said, "Just a habit, baby." But it's not a habit. It's survival. And he's tired of teaching 8-year-olds how to survive encounters with people who are supposed to protect them. That's why he volunteered for this operation. Why he drove his car into this parking lot knowing exactly what would happen. Why he let Brennan put him on the ground and took every humiliation without fighting back. Because if he didn't, nothing would change. The next black man in an expensive car would get pulled over. The next traffic stop would turn into another viral video, another hashtag, another family planning a funeral. Rachel hands him his phone. "Director Mitchell is on line 1. Your wife is on line 2. Which first?" Ben manages a weak smile. Angela, always Angela. He dials. She picks up on the first ring. "Baby, I'm so sorry. I'll explain everything, but I'm okay. I'm coming home." Angela's voice shakes. "I saw it on Twitter. Ben, you could have..." "I know." His voice cracks just a little. "But if not me, then who? If not now, when?" Silence on the line. Then, "You better get here before dessert gets cold. I ordered your favorite." "On my way." He hangs up, looks at Rachel. "Debrief tomorrow?" "Director wants you in D.C. Media will want interviews. DOJ will need testimony." "Tomorrow." Ben repeats. Tonight I'm just a husband who's very late for dinner. An agent hands him his car keys. Your Aston's clean, sir. We pulled all the surveillance equipment. Ben runs his hand over the hood. Keep it installed. Evidence. He slides into the driver's seat, starts the engine. The crowd parts like water. In his rearview mirror, he sees Brennan's head bowed in the back of a federal SUV, sees the news cameras, sees Thomas Bennett giving him a salute. He drives away, toward home, toward Angela, toward 42 more cities that need what happened here today. Justice won this round, but the fight isn't over. Commander Rachel Turner pulls a tablet from her tactical vest, walks straight to Dale Brennan, doesn't raise her voice, doesn't need to. Officer Brennan, you've been under federal investigation for 18 months. Brennan's face goes from white to gray. I didn't. Title 18, Section 114. Assault on a federal officer. Rachel taps the tablet screen. Title 18, Section 242. Deprivation of rights under color of law. Title 18, Section 1962. Racketeering. RICO predicate offenses. She looks up. You want me to keep going? I've got a long list. The parking lot has gone silent. Even the distant highway noise seems to fade. 1,200 people are watching the Facebook live stream now. Maria Cooper's news camera is rolling. Every phone in the crowd is raised. Rachel turns the tablet around, shows Brennan his own file, his photo, his badge number, a spreadsheet with 600 rows. Each row is a forfeiture. Each row has a name, a date, an amount seized, a case outcome. 600 civil asset forfeitures in 5 years, Rachel says. 89% from Black or Latino drivers. Average seizure, $3,500. Total, $2.1 million. She swipes to another screen. Your personal bank account shows deposits correlating to 83% of these seizures, usually within 48 hours of the stop. Brennan's mouth opens. Nothing comes out. Rachel keeps going. Today's incident? You assaulted a deputy director of the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network on camera with 3,000 witnesses. She nods toward Rodriguez. Officer Rodriguez's body camera captured everything. The golf club, the boot to the ribs, the illegal seizure of federal property. She points to Ben's phone, still in Brennan's pocket. That's a federal crime. 10-year minimum sentence. I didn't know, Brennan starts. You didn't know? Ben steps forward. His voice is calm, quiet, more devastating than shouting. I stated my name. I gave you my identification number. I invoked federal jurisdiction, all on camera. Rodriguez pulls his body camera from his vest, hands it to Rachel with shaking hands. It's all there, ma'am. Rachel plugs the camera into her tablet, pulls up the footage, plays it for everyone to hear. Ben's voice, clear and steady. My name is Benjamin Harris, Treasury Identification Number THX8634. I invoke federal jurisdiction under Title 18, Section 114. Then Brennan's response. Federal jurisdiction? You think you're special? You think some fake badge makes you untouchable? Followed by the sound of Ben's head hitting the patrol car. The crowd murmurs. Maria Cooper's cameraman zooms in. The Facebook Live comments explode. Rachel signals to her team. 6 agents move toward Kowalski and Jensen. Officers Kyle Kowalski and Ryan Jensen, you're being detained as accessories after the fact. You doubled down on a false warrant. You assisted in the unlawful detention of a federal officer. Jensen's face crumples. We didn't know. You ran a warrant check on a name without verifying date of birth or middle name. You knew it was wrong. You did it anyway. The agents cuff them. Not roughly, but not gently either. The message is clear. The system you thought would protect you just turned around and swallowed you whole. Rachel walks to the valet. The kid is 18, maybe 19. Looks like he's about to cry. You called this in? Rachel asks. He told me to. The kid points at Brennan. Said if I didn't, I'd lose my job. Coerced testimony. Witness tampering. Rachel makes a note. You'll need to give a statement, but you're not under arrest. You were intimidated by someone in a position of authority. That's different. The kid's shoulders sag with relief. Rachel opens her briefcase, pulls out a thick accordion folder. Hundreds of pages. She drops it on the hood of Brennan's patrol car. The sound echoes like a gavel. Pinehurst Police Department, 2019 to 2024. Complete audit. She opens the folder, starts reading aloud. 600 asset forfeitures, 89% targeting people of color. $2.1 million seized. Only 12% of cases resulted in charges. The rest, no charges, no convictions. But somehow the money never got returned. She pulls out a bank statement, holds it up for the cameras. Dale Brennan's personal checking account. Note the deposits. March 15th, 2023, $4,000. That's 2 days after he seized $4,200 from Marcus Williams during a traffic stop. Mr. Williams was never charged, never got his money back. She pulls out another statement. June 3rd, 2023, $6,000. 2 days after seizing $6,300 from Jasmine Rodriguez, single mother, driving home from her job at Walmart. Brennan said he smelled marijuana. No marijuana was ever found. Ms. Rodriguez couldn't afford a lawyer. The money disappeared. Another statement. September 22nd, 2023, $12,000. This one's interesting. Brennan seized $15,000 from Thomas and Patricia Chen. Yes, Thomas over there by the fence, the veteran who tried to vouch for Deputy Director Harris. The Chens were driving to their son's college to pay tuition, in cash, because the bank had screwed up their wire transfer. Rachel looks at Brennan. You didn't know Thomas was a member here, did you? Didn't know he'd remember you. Thomas Bennett pushes to the front of the crowd. His face is hard. I told you that money was for my grandson's school. You said it was suspicious to carry that much cash. Kept it anyway. We had to take out a loan. Rachel nods. The Chens filed a complaint. It was investigated by the Pinehurst PD Internal Affairs Division. The investigator was, she checks the file, Officer Dale Brennan's brother-in-law. The complaint was dismissed. The crowd erupts. Voices overlap. Phones keep recording. Rachel raises a hand. Silence falls. We didn't just investigate Brennan. We investigated the system. The chief who ignored complaints. The district attorney who declined to prosecute. The city council that approved equipment purchases with forfeiture money. She looks directly at Maria Cooper's camera. This isn't about one bad cop. It's about a department that turned law enforcement into a profit center. She pulls out her phone, opens an app, casts it to a portable screen one of her agents has set up. A map of the United States appears. 43 red dots pulse across small towns. Operation Sundown, Rachel says. 43 cities, 1,200 officers under investigation, $2.3 billion in illegal seizures. She taps a button. The red dots turn green, one by one. As of 5 minutes ago, simultaneous raids are executing in all 43 locations. The crowd gasps. Maria Cooper's eyes go wide. This isn't just a local story anymore. This is national. Ben steps up to the screen, takes the phone from Rachel, opens the Treasury Department's public portal, goes live. My name is Benjamin Harris. I'm a deputy director with the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. For the past 18 months, I've been working undercover to document systematic civil rights violations and financial crimes committed by law enforcement officers across this country. The live stream viewer count explodes. 5,000. 10,000, 20,000. What happened to me today has happened to thousands of Americans. People who were pulled over for minor traffic violations and had their life savings seized. People who couldn't afford lawyers. People who were told they looked suspicious or out of place in their own neighborhoods. He looks directly at the camera. Today, we take the first step toward accountability. No one is above the law, not even those sworn to enforce it. The parking lot erupts in applause. Thomas Bennett starts it. Karen Westfield joins in. The nurse in scrubs. The crowd behind the fence. Even some of the golfers who'd been silent before. Brennan sinks to his knees, the same position he forced Ben into 25 minutes ago. His hands shake. I was just doing my job. Ben walks over, looks down at him. No, you were doing your hobby. Your job was justice. Rachel signals. 2 agents lift Brennan to his feet. Cuff him. Read him his rights. Dale Brennan, you're under arrest for deprivation of civil rights under color of law, assault on a federal officer, wire fraud, racketeering, and conspiracy. You have the right to remain silent. They walk him to the SUV. The same path Ben was being forced down minutes ago. The symmetry isn't lost on anyone. As they pass, Brennan looks at Ben. You set me up. Ben's voice is quiet. No. I gave you a choice. You made it. Rodriguez approaches, takes off his badge, hands it to Rachel. Ma'am, I need to think about what kind of cop I want to be. Rachel doesn't take the badge. You kept your camera on. That took courage. The question isn't what kind of cop you want to be. It's what kind of cop you're going to choose to be every single day. She nods at the badge. Keep it. Earn it. Rodriguez's hand closes around the badge. He nods. The sun sets fully. Floodlights from news vans bathe the parking lot in harsh white light. Golf course sprinklers kick on, washing blood and oil from the asphalt. Ben sits on the curb. Not because he's forced to, because his legs won't hold him anymore. The adrenaline is wearing off. The pain is catching up. Rachel sits beside him. Director Mitchell wants a full debrief. Media will want interviews. Justice Department will want testimony. Tomorrow. Your wife? On line 2. Always line 2. Rachel hands him his phone. Ben dials. Angela picks up immediately. Baby, I'm so sorry. I'll explain everything. I'm okay. I'm coming home. I saw it. Twitter had it before the news did. Ben, you could have died. I know. His voice breaks just a little. But if not me, then who? Silence. Then Angela's voice, thick with tears and pride and exhaustion. You better get here before dessert. I ordered tiramisu. On my way. He stands. An agent brings his keys. Your car is clean, sir. We pulled the surveillance equipment. Ben touches the Aston Martin's hood. Keep it installed. It's evidence now. He gets in, starts the engine. The crowd parts. Thomas Bennett salutes. Karen Westfield wipes tears. The nurse waves. Maria Cooper shouts a question he doesn't answer. In the rearview mirror, he sees Brennan's head bowed in the back of a federal SUV. Sees Rodriguez standing alone with his badge in his hand. Sees the news cameras capturing everything. He drives away. Toward Georgetown. Toward Angela and tiramisu. Toward 42 more cities waiting for justice. The work isn't done. But today, for the first time in a long time, the system bent toward justice. And that's a start. 72 hours later. Headlines scroll across television screens in coffee shops and airport terminals and government offices. Operation Sundown nets 183 federal arrests nationwide. $2. 3B in seized assets ordered, returned to victims. Pinehurst police chief resigns amid federal investigation. Deputy Director Benjamin Harris, the man who stood down a corrupt system. In a federal courtroom in Richmond, Virginia, Dale Brennan sits beside a public defender who looks like he graduated law school last week. The judge, a black woman in her 60s who's seen every trick in the book, reads through the charges. 8 federal counts. Minimum sentencing guidelines add up to 63 years. Your Honor, the public defender starts, my client was simply following established procedures. Procedures? Judge Williams looks up. Swinging a golf club at a restrained man's head is procedure? That's not. What I meant was, bail is denied. The defendant is remanded to federal custody pending trial. She bangs the gavel. Next case. Brennan is led out in an orange jumpsuit, the same color as the jumpsuits worn by dozens of men and women he arrested on false charges over the past 5 years. At the Department of Justice in Washington, D.C., the Attorney General announces emergency reforms. Mandatory body camera reviews for all civil asset forfeitures over $1,000. Independent oversight boards in departments with more than 50 officers. Federal monitors in any jurisdiction with 3 or more sustained excessive force complaints in a calendar year. 12 states pass emergency legislation in 72 hours. Ban quota-based policing. Require officers to complete de-escalation training annually. Establish victim compensation funds from forfeiture proceeds. The Treasury Department establishes a $500 million restitution program. Victims of illegal seizures can file claims. If the seizure is documented and no charges were filed, they get their money back. With interest. In Pinehurst, the police department undergoes a complete overhaul. The chief resigns. 2 captains are placed on administrative leave pending investigation. 40% of the force is suspended without pay. A federal monitor is installed for 5 years. Every arrest will be reviewed. Every forfeiture documented. Every complaint investigated by an outside agency. James Rodriguez is promoted to training officer. His first class is cadets fresh from the academy. 22 kids, most of them under 25, who joined up thinking they'd be heroes. Rodriguez plays them the body camera footage from that day in the parking lot. The whole thing. From the moment Ben's car pulled in to the moment federal agents surrounded Brennan. The room is silent when it ends. I froze, Rodriguez says. I knew it was wrong. I knew Dale was out of control. I knew that man didn't deserve what was happening. And I froze. He looks at the cadets. Don't be me. Be better. One cadet raises her hand. What should you have done? Stopped it. The second I saw Dale grab that golf club. The second he put his boot on that man's back. I should have said, stand down. I should have called a supervisor. I should have done literally anything except stand there and watch. But he's your superior officer, another cadet says. He was. Past tense. Now he's inmate number 83642 at FCI Petersburg. Rodriguez taps the screen. Being a good cop means standing up even when it's hard, especially when it's hard, because if you don't, you're not a cop. You're just someone with a badge and a gun. Across the country, 43 police departments face similar reckonings. Some fight it, file lawsuits, claim federal overreach. Those lawsuits get dismissed. The evidence is too strong. The pattern is too clear. Some departments cooperate, fire the worst offenders, implement new policies, rebuild trust one traffic stop at a time. And some departments resist, dig in, circle the wagons. Those departments find federal funding dries up. State grants disappear. Insurance premiums skyrocket. Qualified immunity protections weaken. Within 6 months, most of them cave. The money starts flowing back. Jasmine Rodriguez, the single mother who lost $6,300, gets a check for $7,000. The extra $1,400 is interest and emotional damages. She cries when she opens the envelope, uses it to pay for her daughter's braces and her son's asthma medication. Thomas and Patricia Bennett get $15,000 back, plus $2,200 in interest. They send a check to their grandson with a note. For college, from the government that stole it, then gave it back because one man refused to stay down. 600 victims. Some get back a few $100s. Some get back tens of thousands. Every check comes with a letter signed by Director Sarah Mitchell. We're sorry. You deserved better. We're trying to do better. At the U.S. Treasury Building, Ben stands beside Director Mitchell at a press conference. He didn't want to be here, wanted to go back to his regular job analyzing financial crimes from behind a desk. But Mitchell insisted. Deputy Director Harris exemplified courage under fire, Mitchell says into the microphones. He placed himself in danger to document systematic civil rights abuses. Operation Sundown proves that no institution is beyond accountability. She turns to Ben. He steps to the podium. 12 cameras flash. "I'm not special," Ben says. "Thousands of Americans endure this every day. Traffic stops that turn into interrogations. Interrogations that turn into arrests. Arrests that turn into headlines. Headlines that turn into funerals." He pauses. Today honors the ones who didn't make it home. Philando Castile, Sandra Bland, Daniel Prude, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd. This is for you. A reporter raises her hand. "Were you scared?" Ben considers lying, considers the heroic answer, then decides on truth. Terrified. Every second. But I was more scared of what would happen to the next person if I didn't stand there and take it. The clip goes viral. 15 million views in 48 hours. Hashtags trend at Operation Sundown. Badges don't make you above the law. Hashtag Benjamin Harris. But Ben doesn't see most of it, because 3 days after the arrest, he finally makes it to Marcello's downtown. The same restaurant, the same reservation, the same tiramisu Angela ordered. She sits across from him, studies his face, the exhaustion, the bruises fading on his wrists, the weight he's carrying that has nothing to do with pounds. "You missed dessert," she says, "twice. I'll spend the rest of my life making it up. When you took this job, I knew the risks. I didn't know I'd watch you almost die on Twitter." Ben reaches across the table, takes her hand. "It had to be real. If they knew it was a sting, they'd have played nice. I needed them to show who they really are." And now, more towns, more near misses. 42 more. His voice is steady. "Then I'm done, I promise." The waiter interrupts. Young guy, maybe 25, with kind eyes. "Dessert's on us tonight, sir. Saw the news. Thank you." Angela squeezes Ben's hand tighter, doesn't let go. They eat tiramisu, talk about everything except the parking lot, except the golf club, except the 72 hours that changed everything. For tonight, Ben is just a husband who loves his wife. Tomorrow he'll go back to being the man who stood down a system. But tonight belongs to tiramisu and anniversary promises, and the quiet knowledge that justice, for once, won. 6 months later. The Pinehurst Country Club parking lot looks different now. Fresh asphalt, new paint on the lines, a bronze plaque mounted near the entrance. In honor of those who stood, justice requires witnesses. The valet is different too. A young black woman named Keisha who greets every member with a smile and doesn't flinch when expensive cars pull up driven by people who don't look like the brochure. Inside the clubhouse, Karen Westfield trains new staff, shows them the body camera footage from that day, not as entertainment, as education. "This is what happens when we stay silent," she tells them. "We all saw it happening. Most of us did nothing. One person, Mr. Bennett, spoke up. One nurse pushed through the crowd. One officer kept his camera on." She pauses. "Be those people, every single time." At the Pinehurst Police Department, James Rodriguez teaches another class. This one is active officers, men and women who've been on the force for years. They're required to take the course. Most come in with crossed arms and skeptical faces. Rodriguez plays them the footage. Then he asks, "Who are you in this video? Are you Brennan? Are you me, standing there frozen? Or are you the person you wish you'd been?" The room stays silent, but some faces change. In a federal prison in Petersburg, Virginia, Dale Brennan mops floors on a cleaning detail. An inmate walks past, Samuel Williams, one of the men Brennan arrested 3 years ago on fake charges. Samuel spent 18 months in jail before the case was dismissed. Lost his job, lost his apartment, lost custody of his daughter. Samuel doesn't say anything, just walks past. That's punishment enough. Being invisible to someone you once had power over. And in Georgetown, in a townhouse with a small backyard, Ben plays catch with his daughter Emma. She's 8 years old. She throws like she means it. "Daddy, did you really stop the bad guys?" Ben catches the ball, throws it back. "We all did, baby. Every person who recorded on their phone, every person who spoke up, every person who refused to look away. But you were the one who stayed down when he hurt you. Yeah, that was brave." Ben kneels, looks his daughter in the eyes. "You know what's braver? Being the person who steps up when someone else is on the ground. That's who I want you to be." Emma nods, throws the ball again. Inside, Angela watches from the kitchen window. Ben sees her, waves. She waves back. His phone buzzes. Text from Director Mitchell. "City number 23, Houston, ready for operation, need you next month." Ben types back, "I'll be there." 42 more cities to go. Systems don't change because they want to. They change because we refuse to let them stay broken. Operation Sundown is ongoing. 43 cities, 1,200 officers under investigation. $1.8 billion returned to victims. But the work isn't done. It's never done. Justice isn't a moment. It's a choice, made by people like you. If you've experienced injustice or witnessed it, your story matters. Comment below. Have you seen systemic abuse of power? Share your story. Share this video. Make sure the next Benjamin Harris isn't alone. Subscribe for more stories of accountability and justice. Because change doesn't happen in courtrooms and press conferences. It happens when ordinary people decide that enough is enough. Thank you for watching. Thank you for caring. Thank you for being willing to stand.